Good evening, everybody, and welcome along. This is the first ever Whispering Bobcast, and we're going to be live for at least an hour, probably quite a bit longer, because we've got so much to pack in this evening. We'll be taking later a deep dive into my playlist. I've got a big playlist section on my website that contains running orders and scripts going back more than 50 years, and we're going to be having a look at one or two of those in the company of Alex Bramer, who's the man who's put my website together on behalf of 3B Digital. So Alex and I will be talking music, going into the playlist. That's coming up a little later on. Plus, if you've been watching my social media, you'll know that we've been running a playlist competition. So we've got 3 winners to draw tonight. So during the course of my conversation with Alex, we'll be picking 3 special playlists out of all those that have been submitted to us. It's been an incredible and wonderful process going through them all. Some of your ideas have been absolutely brilliant, so we'll be talking about that as well. And we have incredible live music tonight. Later on, we'll be seeing a concert specially recorded for this program by Blackberry Smoke. Raul Malo will also be on live, and we'll be seeing the Mavericks on film too. And to start us off, one of my favourite artists, a woman who's literally just gone on to the Radio 2 playlist. And it's an absolute joy to welcome as our first ever guest on the Bobcast, Lauren Housley. Hey Lauren, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very, very good. I mean, we've got a lot to talk about, but I thought it might be a nice idea to get straight into the music first of all. So what is the first song you're going to be playing for us tonight?
We're going to play you Stay Awake to Dream, Bob.
Okay, go for it, Lauren.
To sing in the car park, my sister, my friend, lost in a moment right to the end. She'd sing me the chorus and I'd sing her the verse. 2 little dreamers just waiting to burst. Seeing stars through the trees, the darker the night and the brighter they seem, while everyone else falls asleep. I lay awake to dream. That you say, I made the decision to be no angry man's wife. 14 and knowing to say no to this life. I got rain in my eyes, seeing stars through the trees, the dark of the night, brighter they seem, while everyone else falls asleep. I lay awake to dream. That night in December, tried to forget what I saw, but I'll always remember that buddy still on the floor. Did they know it was Christmas with those blue flashing lights? They started running for the rest of their life. I got tears in my eyes, putting a star on the tree. The brighter the lights and the darker they seem, while everyone peacefully sleeps, I stay awake to dream.
Just lovely, Lauren. It really is. The song is called "Stay Awake to Dream," and you can see I'm here in the under the apple tree studio, and Lauren was here to record a session for us. Now, this was about probably getting on for 2 years ago, Lauren, wasn't it, that you were here? Am I right about my date there?
Yes, because it was July 2019. So yeah, we're not far off now.
That's right.
Very different weather though. It's not the same weather up here.
Well, you played that song for us, didn't you? And we were going to do the session obviously inside the studio, but you arrived on what proved to be the hottest day in Britain for, I think it was about 15 years. And it was impossible for us to play in here, wasn't it? So you went out and literally we recorded the session outside in the under the apple tree garden just outside the studio here. Do you remember?
Yeah, we did. I do remember. Yeah, it was such a lovely day, and I thought it'd be nice to open today with that one because obviously I appreciate your support, and it was a really beautiful moment, that one, coming down and playing that song for you, because I think it's one of the first times I ever played that one live, and it was one of those songs that was it's so personal that I just didn't know whether people would get it. Do you know what I mean? And people get it. So it's great.
Oh, it's beautiful. And of course, I was then, as I am now, with my son Miles, who's here in the studio with me at the sort of a hub of all the technology and the equipment that we've got here. But I'm also thinking that, when the very last gig that I did before lockdown was with you. And we played, you and Tom, we played together, didn't we? A little hotel room gig in the East End of London. I think, was it Soho House? I can't remember which hotel it was.
I can't actually remember the hotel, but yeah, I do remember the night. It was great. It was really fun.
It was great, wasn't it? And the night before, I'd been on stage at the O2 introducing a fundraiser for the Royal Marsden Hospital, with people like Eric Clapton and Van Morrison. And there were 18,500 people in front of me that night. And then the two of us, didn't we, or the three of us, were then in this little hotel room with a really intimate, but very beautiful night. I mean, I really, really did enjoy it. I mean, as far as, because none of us have done gigs this year, but, what's the ideal gig setting for you, Lauren? Do you like doing big festivals? Do you like a big crowd in front of you? Do you like an intimate setting like that?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. I mean, I guess because of my songs being so varied. My ideal scenario is I just love playing with a big band. Like, I've had a band with horns and 2 keys, 2 drummers even. Like, I love going out and having that big sound. I guess because it just allows you to create the music that you've made in the studio, because a lot of my music obviously has got all those instruments on it. But then sometimes this is how the song was written, you know. That song was written just pretty much as you just heard it. Just me and Tom jamming away in the kitchen, and me just kind of singing and seeing what comes out, and that song coming out. So there's something really special about the stripped down lineup as well. I think it really allows people to focus on the songs more, maybe. But I love both. That's not a very good answer, but I love both.
No, it is actually. I mean, lockdown has been incredible for everyone, hasn't it? But it's been particularly creative and constructive for you, hasn't it? Because you in a way, you've given birth to 2. You've given birth to your baby, and you've given birth to an absolutely amazing album.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a mad year. Obviously, it's been a mad year for everyone, but I think like having a baby in this time, especially as like a gigging musician as well, because I've been a gigging musician for almost 10 years now. It's, I was going to be still like watching my band going out and playing and continuing to do that, and I guess that would have been quite difficult in its own way. So I've kind of been in this little bubble that everyone's been in. Everyone's been in this bubble at the same time. It just so happens, but mine's been a baby bubble, and luckily the album was finished recording, I think just maybe even a week before the first lockdown hit. It's just very strange timing, really. The album was supposed to be out in September last year, and I was going to be out taking my baby out on the road, my little baby, who's now still a little baby. He's only 10 months, but he would have been pretty tiny at that point, and I don't know what that would have been like, but that was the plan. And a week before lockdown, the album was finished, and I guess like it made us go, right, it's done. You can keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking forever, but it was done at that point, and lockdown decided that. So it was like, right, let's get this mixed and let's get this out, and people need music right now. So it'd be really nice to get it out as soon as we can.
Because everything is for a reason, Lauren, isn't it? And in your particular case, the wait has really been worth it, because I mean, the reviews of the album, first of all, have been absolutely fantastic, haven't they? And also the fact that Radio 2 was waiting for you. Weren't we? Because the record's gone onto the Radio 2 playlist. And I mean, the competition to get onto that playlist, I can tell you from firsthand, it's a fierce competition. And it's such a distinctive track, isn't it? And it sounds so great on the radio. I just get the feeling that, with that, I'm not wishing to embarrass you, but it just feels like it's your time. That's the feeling that I get.
Cheers, Bob. Yeah, I think, I guess like I'm maybe a person that that thrives when the going gets tough, possibly. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. It's just been a weird year, but it's been good and bad. A lot of it's been, it's been a blessing for me to be able to spend more time with my baby, and it's feeling amazing that the music's just been so well received. Really, I don't know what I was expecting, because this album was written and recorded very low key. No one really knew we were doing it. Myself and Tom, who was playing with me here. He's my co-writer, and we just left Manchester. We'd lived there for quite a few years. We just fancied a change, and we were possibly going to move to London. We were thinking about maybe starting a family at some point, but we just thought, let's move to London, let's have a year there, and see how that goes. And then in between then, we were moving to Rotherham which is my hometown, to decide where we were going to live in London, sorry. And the day we moved back to Rotherham, we got offered a studio space, which was so random and unexpected. But this opportunity presented itself in the basement of this how do you say it? It's a listed building. There you go. Listed building in the centre of Rotherham. And this opportunity presented itself. So we ended up building a studio and writing and recording this album. Literally no one knew we were doing it. So the fact that it's been so well received is just, it's a really amazing feeling.
The stars aligned.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear another song, Lauren. Can Tom hear me at the moment?
He can't actually. No, I'm just.
You can relay a message.
Yeah, I can relay a message.
Yeah, just ask him to just describe and explain these microphones, please.
Ooh, describe and explain the microphones, please.
Oh, right, cool.
Good question.
These are Roots microphones made by a good friend of mine in Cheshire, actually. They're called Roots microphones. You'll see one right in front of Bob's face there, and in front of our face as well. Hand built, made by one guy in Cheshire, and they sound amazing, especially for this sort of, like crowding around the mic, like this sort of old bluegrass style. I think it's a really cool way of playing, especially in the studio.
Yeah. That bluegrass style of playing round the one microphone is an incredible thing anyway. And it seems to me that this is kind of designed for that, isn't it? Because it's a sort of ambient, it's a whole room microphone. It's not completely directional. It picks up everything sort of around it, which is it's a wonderful thing. It's got your music tonight, great sound to it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you remember, this is the mic that we brought down to use on the Under the Apple Tree session. And
that's the exact one.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something, because no one actually believed when the video went up on YouTube. No one believed it was one microphone. We got so many messages being like, it sounds great, we'll give you that, but that's not one microphone. And we're like, it is one microphone, and it's outside. You can literally hear like the wind blowing and everything. But it just sounded so great on this mic. And I'm just going to tell you something funny actually, because Mark, who's behind sort of the desk right now, who's also playing with me, he's playing double bass on that video. It's his dad that builds these microphones, and he didn't know whether to bring it to the session, to the Under the Apple Tree session. So he flipped a coin and it said to bring it. So he put it in the car and he brought it down. And it's just mad how like you like the microphone so much that you've ended up with one. Yay!
Yeah. Well, Miles too. Miles absolutely loves working with this microphone. It's such a beautiful sound. So yeah. Oh, this is so great. Well, Lauren, play another song for us, please.
Yeah. Well, you said it was a lovely day down where you are, weather-wise right now, and it's not here. It's chucking it down with rain. This song was written on a day like we're experiencing. It was pretty muggy and horrendous outside, and I was just trying to think of all the ways to sort of bring a bit of sunshine, cheer myself up, and thinking about the ones that you love always kind of makes you feel happy, and that's what this song's about. It's called Guaranteed Sunshine. And now the nights get dark early. It's enough to drive us all crazy. But as I see, and I wonder what it is I need, I close my eyes and it's your face I see. Sunshine every morning, noon and night. You shine every minute of every day, my sweet sunshine. And now the winter sleeps lonely. We tried to keep ourselves going, but as I lay and I dream about the summer days, I close my eyes and I see your face. You're my guaranteed sunshine every morning, noon and night. You shine every minute of every day, my sweet sunshine. My sweet sunshine. Sweet sunshine. My sweet sunshine. You're my guaranteed sunshine every morning, noon and night. You shine every minute of every day, my sweet sunshine. Make me fall asleep with a smile and I wake up feeling fine. You shine even when the days go dark, my sweet sunshine. Even when the days go dark, my sweet sunshine. Even when the days go dark, my sweet sunshine.
Just lovely. It's Lauren Housley playing live here on the Whispering Bobcast, our first ever Bobcast, and what an absolutely wonderful way to start. So, Lauren, just give us an idea now about the album and whatever tour dates there may be. I mean, everything's still somewhat in the air, isn't it, as far as live performances are concerned? So, what are your plans now over the next sort of few weeks and months?
Yeah, well, I've got a tour booked for November, December. So yeah, that's now on sale as of like 2 days ago. So yeah, fingers crossed, all being well, that's going to happen, and really looking forward to that. I can't wait to get out and play these songs live. But yeah, between now and then, I guess I am going to be in the studio again, just being creative between now and then. I might even do another live stream show. I did one last Tuesday to celebrate the release of the album, so maybe won't be doing one for the next few weeks. Although I am playing a Green Note live stream a week today, which should be really fun.
Oh,
it's a
excellent.
songwriters round, yeah. So yeah, we'll be playing a couple of tunes next week on that. So I'll post about that as well tomorrow. And yeah, just I guess just being creative between now and then, possibly doing some more recording. You played the acoustic version of This Ain't the Life on your show, didn't you? Not last week before.
Yes,
and
I did.
It's just got a few ideas for a few things to do. Maybe some acoustic versions of some of the tracks on the album. But yeah, the album's out now. It's called Girl from the North. And it's on my website. It's on Amazon.
I love those Green Note evenings. You know, I hosted one, some time ago now, but I absolutely loved it. They're a bit like the Bluebird Cafe in the Round idea, isn't it? Where you've got a number of songwriters bouncing off each other and exchanging ideas and exchanging songs. And the Green Note, anyway, is such a wonderful venue, isn't it? It's one of our little sort of gem venues.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's amazing. And I know that they sort of monitor the sound and the sound quality and stuff that's going out. So yeah, it's a really high quality live stream. And yeah, I love the songwriters rounds. I guess that's been something that's not happened for a long time either. So yeah, that's going to be nice to share the stage with two other artists who they're on the same booking agency actually. The two other artists. So yeah, tune into that if you can.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks, Lauren. It's been an absolute joy to see you. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for appearing as our first artist on our first ever podcast.
Yay! Oh, thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. See you soon.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
bye. Bye.
Bye. Lauren Housley and Thomas Deere, really, really good. And, I was talking about the playlists that I've accumulated through the years. And if you go back, anybody who's sort of followed my radio programs through the years will know that around 1998, a great guy called Les Nealing started a website for me. It was originally created, the idea of it came from Kirsty Reeve, including Kirsty, we used to call her, who was part of my program team at BBC GLR in the mid-1990s. A friend of mine then, Roy Webber, who runs a company called The Works in Leeds, created the framework for a website that then ran for years and years and years. It was maintained by Les Nealing, who used to input material and information into it literally almost on a day-by-day basis. But then about 2 years ago, he retired and left technology completely behind. So he sort of left the website behind, and it was one of those things that it was sort of withdrawn from the internet, and so all the information that it contained went with it. I built up by this time a friendship with a fellow called Alex Bramer, and Alex runs a company called 3B Digital. It's what they do. They create brilliant websites, huge depth and integrity and creativity go into their work. And he stepped forward and said, would you like me to revive the resource, the archive in particular, that used to exist on your website? I said, well, I think it's gone down. It's in some kind of mine or well somewhere. And he said, well, we can excavate it and bring out all that information. And that's what he's done. So I suggested to Alex that once we get our Bobcast going, that he and I could join together each week and explore the archive a little bit and talk about one or two of the playlists that are reproduced there. So let me introduce you to Alex Bramer. Hey, Alex, are you there?
I am. Good evening, Bob.
Yes, you are. Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing very well. Yeah, no, it's good. It's the end of a long day, as these things always are, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that thing. I mean, I think that, sorry, I was just going to say that was a lovely introduction, but, as altruistic as it seems, we offered to rebuild your site because there was a need. I missed it, and I needed information from it. As I remember, I knew you'd played a song by somebody that had something to do with Springsteen, and I couldn't find what it was. And of course, once I accessed your website, I found out it was Eric Church's Springsteen, obviously. But without that, I'd have been as frustrated today as I was then.
So how did you go about this mammoth task? Because, I mean, what you've created has got so many layers to it now. I think there are nearly 2,500 playlists that you've reproduced up there. So, just explain the process of building this thing.
Well, the truth is, of course, it's still comparatively early days. There's a lot more layers. You talk about layers of data. We still want to connect albums up. It's not straightforward. And if you look across all the platforms that deliver music online, none of them are terribly satisfactory. All of them lack a fundamental understanding of what it is that people like about music, who played on what album, which had various artists, which were compilations, which were duets. It's not a very satisfactory experience, but we've built the core of this database in a way that we should be able to apply those layers in the fullness of time. It's an ongoing effort, and I keep firing in requests to my developers. Can we do this? Can we do that? So far, the answer to everything has been yes.
Yes, because the way that I explain it to everyone is whatever we want to throw at the site, it has the technology to kind of deal with it. Even the webcast tonight, the Bobcast, the site is playing a really important role in that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, as I said, as owner of the agency that developed this, I see faults everywhere, but it improves every day, and it is very deep. It does allow us to ask questions of it, though, in real time. And one of the reasons that we felt this podcast would be a good opportunity to discuss it was because whenever on your main website we take inquiries, because there's so many playlists, as you just mentioned, to put them all into the shop is in of itself a mammoth task. So we tend to take inquiries. What would you like? Would you like something for a specific date or a specific artist, or have you got a specific show in mind? And I'm able to search that very quickly on the database, pull it out, say, yes, confirm with you, yes, we've got that database, playlist, that running order, and it's ready for sale. But the conversations that engenders between you and I are often, in my opinion, pure gold. And we wanted to capture some of that. I mean, only today we were discussing the old Sound of the 70s show from 50 years ago yesterday. It was broadcast. Yeah. And it started a whole conversation about the faces, because on the playlist, you rather charmingly written all the names of the faces who were then, apart from Rod Stewart, of course, largely unknown. But that took us off on a tangent, didn't it, Bob? We're talking about the Jeff Beck group. Who was it that played? Somebody Did you do your homework, or do we need somebody in the chat room to tell us which band played on Maggie May? Was it the Faces, or was it the Jeff Beck group?
It was what it was, actually, Alex. It was a mix of people. Ronnie Wood is on it, Ian McLagan. But as was listed on the album, I think, the mandolin player from Lindisfarne is on it. So I always think that Maggie May is the first hint of UK Americana, really, because it's got that earthy sound to it. And of course, famously on Top of the Pops, when Rod Stewart performed it on Top of the Pops, John Peel was miming on mandolin. It's probably way before everybody's time. But I remember watching it and thinking, this is so great. Anyway, the reason we're saying all of this is because Sounds of the 70s, the show that I did 50 years and one day ago from today, the Faces were in session with me along with John Williams. And in fact, the program started with Had Me a Real Good Time live. That was the session version. And just going through people like the Steve Miller Band. Who remembers the Asylum Choir, whose track I played, Welcome to Hollywood, from an album called Look Inside the Asylum Choir. And the other sessionee that day was John Williams. And these pieces of music were played on the program that I was doing at the time called Sounds of the 70s. I did the Monday program on Radio 1, and it was going out between 6 and 7 in the evening. It followed a program called What's New. And then at the end of the show, I'm giving an announcement to say that Radio 1 is now closing down and handing over to Radio 2 for a new program called Country Style. So there was a new country show that had started on Radio 2 at that time, and Radio 1 closed down at 7 o'clock in the evening. Can you imagine that?
Wasn't Country Style is a fantastic name for a show. Well, that's very clever.
Yes. So, but I mean, one of the things I think about these running orders, Alex, is the fact that within them is contained music history. Do you know what I mean? It's the history of music that you get from the scripts, the whistle test scripts, and some of these running orders, that I'm playing artists on the show for the first time ever.
I think that's absolutely right. And I think the importance of these playlists can't really be understated, I think. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily apply to most DJs who most of the time are contractually beholden to what's in the charts, if it's a chart show or that particular station's playlist, which are often extremely rigid. Well, I've been going through your playlists long enough now in some depth to be able to say with some degree of confidence that's never been your output, Bob. That every show I come across is clearly crafted. There are threads through the show. There are connections between the artists or perhaps the songs, and every song is a personal choice by you. And that, I think, lends it heft. And that's why those of us that have enjoyed your shows over the years and now the archive that exists in its current form, we're able to go and look for some kind of affirmation, if you like, some sort of, it's a seal of quality. Do you remember, Bob, long before we met, actually, I asked for your approval in liking Lady A, or Lady Antebellum as they were then, because I just couldn't quite reconcile this pop sound was actually country Americana, but you gave me your seal of approval, and that was fine. I sort of went off and saw them live and enjoyed them. But that's how most people, I think, feel about your playlists.
Well, I was. I'm just looking at various notes because Mars is taking messages from people who are watching and listening to the show.
I hope they're all polite.
Go on to one or two of these. No, they're all telling us that we're rubbish. But no, before we started, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I came across a running order for a sort of special show I did on Radio 2, 13th of May, 2005.
Yep.
And it was a themed show. I was playing the first track off debut albums. So in other words, let's say Keep Yourself Alive by Queen, Talking About a Revolution by Tracy Chapman. And I said what fun it would be to ask people to send in their top 10 favorite debut tracks from debut albums from artists who became huge artists later. What was the first song you ever heard from, say, Tracy Chapman or Coldplay or whoever it was? And you know, how many entries we've had. We've been really sort of inundated with entries, Alex. It's been brilliant.
We have.
You sent me
It's
the
been
final
great.
list. Yeah, of all the people that have sent in their lists. Now, not all of them were first track, first album. So I've sifted through them and I've applied some degree of kind of critical analysis to this. And I picked out 3 winners. So I'm hoping that Sarah Webb is watching and listening. And here's her list, Alex. So it begins with Round Here by Counting Crows, then Wonderful Life by Black, Suzanne by Leonard Cohen, More Than a Feeling by Boston, Death by White Lies, One Step Beyond by Madness, Here With Me by Dido, New Life by Depeche Mode, Happy Ever After by Julia Fordham. We absolutely love Julia. She's been part of our Christopher songwriting retreats from time to time, and Early One Morning by Jim Moray. So that's Sarah's choice. Isn't that a great list?
They're a statement, aren't they, Bob? I mean, that opening song, some of those are classics there that they're still known for forever.
Yes. So then Rebecca Shipp, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf, Disorder by Joy Division, The View from the Afternoon by the Arctic Monkeys, Don't Go by Yazoo, Screaming Target by Big Youth, Just Like Honey by the Jesus and Mary Chain, Next to You by the Police, Take It Easy by the Eagles, So Young by Suede, and We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thing by Heaven 17. And again, I'm not the microphone's down. And one of the things about this is the variety in the list. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Whose list was that? Who was the winner there?
Rebecca Shipp. It was Rebecca Shipp. So far, Sarah Webb and Rebecca Shipp. And we have a third winner. And I'm so pleased about this because do you remember a group called the Cosmic Rough Riders?
I don't.
Do you remember? I could reach out and pull out one of their CDs. Enjoy the Melodic Sunshine. Anyway, the sort of creative genius behind them was a guy called Daniel Wiley. And it just so happens that I picked out his list. And it is Radio Free Europe by REM, Obscurity Knocks by the Trash Can Sinatras. I mean, you know, any list with that track on is good. Son of a Gun by the Lars, Good Times Roll by the Cars, Rocking Around by Tom Petty, Innocent Bystander by Leo Sayer, Chuck E's in Love by Ricky Lee Jones, Do It Again by Steely Dan, Moving by Kate Bush, and actually he also has listed Take It Easy by the Eagles. So Sarah Webb, Rebecca Shipp, Daniel Wiley, you are our 3 winners tonight. Thank you very much indeed.
Those are great. I feel like I could age them. I feel like I could guess each person's age from their list.
Yes. So now we've got a project for next time. In a week's time, we're going to be looking through playlists once again and picking one winner this time. And the prize is going to be the same as it is for these 3. and that is we're going to create a playlist from your playlist, as it were. The facsimile would look exactly like one of my playlists. I will get it out for you in the same way that my playlists look. I'm going to sign the copies and send them back, and that's going to be the prize. So next week, we're just going to have one winner. And this time, we're going to invite you to contribute to our show here. We'll explain more about this next week. But what we want to create this time is the all-time dream concert. So I'd like you to send in your 10 favorite live tracks. If you would do that, you know how to do it. It's all on the website, bobharris.org. All the facilities are there for you to enter in your 10 tracks. So your favorite 10 live tracks, and we'll create the all-time perfect live concert. So that'll be our competition during this week, and we'll be drawing out the winners for you in 7 days' time. Alex, thank you for the time being. Thanks for all your work on the website. And don't forget, to everybody, if you want to go in, it's bobharris.org. The playlist, you'll find all the playlists featured in our store on the site. So
Thanks, Bob.
now, one of the other playlists that I have with me, thank you, Alex, is from, let me just pull this out here. It's from the 12th of March, 2009. And on that particular day, it was the Bob Harris Country Show. I had an opening track from the Mavericks. And the reason for that was because I had a live session, a solo session from the great Raul Malo. And Raul is on the line, I think, now. Is he there, Miles?
I am.
Yes,
indeed.
he is. Hey, Raul, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Bob. Nice to see you.
I don't know whether you remember this session that you did. It was around the release of your Lucky One album. And do you remember one of the topics of conversation that we had at the time was we were talking about the music cruises that you taken part in, and the Mavericks had played a music cruise, and you were saying about the huge, vast expanses of the boats and how easy it was to get lost, particularly last thing at night when you were heading back to your cabins. Do you remember the song that you always used to whistle so that you all knew where you were?
Oh my goodness.
Should I give you a hint?
What
Monty
was
Python.
Please. Oh, of course. Always look on the bright side of life.
Yes.
Yes.
I just thought it was such a great story.
That was our. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I love that. Yeah, we did. We absolutely had to sometimes find our way back, sadly, and that was the tune that was the calling card.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were talking earlier with our guest Lauren Housley about what's been happening during lockdown, and for a lot of people how creative this time has been, and it's been a very, very creative moment for you, actually, hasn't it? Tell us about your projects during lockdown.
You know, thank you for saying that, Bob. You know, it really just started. It was really just sort of a way to break the monotony of every day, just like everybody else was trying to do. You know, and luckily I found myself retreating to my little studio here, and actually messing around with all the instruments that sit here unplayed for months at a time, you know, just because we've been out touring and working, and so it was really nice to dive into the Mellotron in specific terms, because that's what started the whole Quarantunes thing. I was just learning how to play songs on the Mellotron. It's a very entertaining piece of equipment. You can actually entertain a crowd for a little while with one of those, and I started to learn songs one after the other, and I thought, okay, surely I'm going to run out of songs to play on this thing, and the more it was a rabbit hole. The more I dug in, the deeper it got, and lo and behold, I ended up doing almost 30 songs on the Mellotron alone, and
Wow.
so that was really fun and challenging, to say the least. And fans kept asking. I never had any intention of putting it on a CD or anything like that, so I never really. Some of it was recorded on iPhones, and but people really wanted it, and we put it out as a CD, and lo and behold, it was number 6 on iTunes at one point, and it's a nice little timepiece for the period, for sure,
Because people of my age and my musical background and everything always associate the Mellotron with the early days of progressive rock,
Sure.
and the way that bands like Yes used to use it. Because effectively what a Mellotron is, isn't it? You play a note and there's a little loop of tape, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sort of under that note.
Yeah.
And you can switch between tapes to create different sounds that mimic other
and they were
instruments.
And they were recorded by real musicians too. That was the thing about them. And I think one of their uses was in between acts on stage, instead of having, because a band couldn't be playing while they were switching instruments, there'd be a guy playing this thing, and you could do little runs of songs, and they sounded like groovy little instrumentals, and so there's a lot to the instrument, actually, and then of course all the sounds which all the rock bands used, famous for, the Beatles for sure, and Yes, and the Moody Blues, and the Beach Boys, and everybody, and everybody in those days had one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many great examples of the way that it was used so creatively, but one of my absolute favorites was 10cc, I'm Not in Love. The way that, the way that track was constructed actually took weeks, almost months, almost note by note. You can do so much with the Mellotron, can't you? And create so many different atmospheres with it.
Yeah. I did. I did 30 of these things. I'm telling you, I didn't know there was 30 songs in there. But it was really fun. It was a fun exercise, and I'm glad that people got a kick out of it. And that's all it was. It was just a little entertainment during the pandemic,
And a diversion, wasn't it, from things Maverick? So how's everybody in the band at the moment?
Everybody is well, of course. Everybody's itching to get back out on the road and get back to playing, no doubt. I've been doing some solo shows, so they're all a little jealous of me right now at the moment, because at least I get to play to small audiences, but at least it's a good warm up. It's it's good to get back out there in front of people after a year of not wearing pants. It's nice to get reacquainted with humanity.
Yeah. So what are the plans ongoing for the Mavericks then, Raul?
Well, sadly, Bob, we had a tour lined up, UK tour, European tour, in September, but things aren't ready for they're not ready to provide, make sure that everybody's safe at concerts and all that, and I get that. So the tour had to be postponed again. Which of course we're sad about, but we'll get out there when it's deemed safe and more people are vaccinated. We'll certainly make our way. For now, we're hoping that shows are getting booked here at the end of the year, and they're getting booked as regular, not socially distanced or anything like that. They're being pushed as regular shows. So we're hopeful. We're hopeful that they will happen, and it looks like they will. But like everything so far, everything's kind of been a moving target, truthfully.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a joy to talk to you, Raul. It always is, actually. I mean, I feel that I'm very fortunate because I spent a lot of time over the years in the company of you guys, and every single time I've absolutely loved it. We've met up many times, haven't we, in Nashville, and you've played live on Radio 2 a number of times in that little studio where we meet just off Music Road there, Audio Productions,
Yes.
which I always think has got such a great atmosphere. It's always so great to see you, Raul.
Thank you, Bob. As always, wonderful to see you, and so glad to be here with you and spend some time, even from far away. But I know that at some point we're going to meet up here or there and have a shot of tequila or a beer and a laugh, and we'll catch up like if it was. We'll pick up just where we left off. You know.
Absolutely. So now you've brought a piece of film in with you, haven't you? So can you just set this up for us? I haven't seen this yet.
Well, Bob, I have to be honest and full disclosure, I haven't seen it either. So, but I'm sure
Well,
whatever it is, whatever it is, it's brilliant. Don't worry.
We really have to see it now, Raul, don't we?
Now we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for joining us, and talk soon.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, well. Thanks, Raul.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Just great. None of us knew what it was going to be, but wasn't it beautiful when it arrived? Here Comes the Sun, the Mavericks version of the George Harrison classic. Thank you very much, by the way, for everybody that's been communicating with the program tonight. Miles has been taking notes and taking down questions and everything else. We've got a stack of things to answer, stack of inquiries, and we'll be turning our attention to those in a few minutes' time. Meanwhile, though, we've got more live music coming up, and this is really something very, very special. Before we see what amounts to a mini concert recorded specially for this program by Blackberry Smoke, I want to introduce you to the lead singer of the band, Charlie Starr. Welcome to the Whispering Bobcast.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm home in Atlanta, and the weather's pretty nasty, so I hope we don't have any connectivity problems. We've had a couple of tornadoes blow through, and
have you? I mean, not that you know we're giving weather forecasts here, but the weather has been weird all over America over the last few months, hasn't it? Have you actually set into summer by now? Because usually Atlanta is pretty warm at this time of year.
yeah, it's been warm, but we went, Blackberry Smoke, we went to Florida for several shows, and when we came back yesterday, it was batten down the hatches, get in the basement.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
What was it like getting out at shows again?
Oh, it was fantastic. Some of the shows that we've done have been limited capacity, socially distanced events, you know, where I was telling a friend earlier that you look out and it's like people are in little cages that are, you know, separated on each side by 6 or 8 feet. And, you know, if you play a ballad, you see little lighters come up out of the cages. And
Oh, that's amazing. So what they are literally sort of physically socially distanced. They step into a little area then. Is that how it works?
yeah, that's how some of them work. A few that we've done, it kind of depends on the regulations in each state, you know, or in each city, actually, in some cases, where they check temperatures and there's mandatory masks being worn, you know, and then some of them, they just keep people away from each other physically, you know, in the little
Yes.
roped off sections or caged off sections. And it's different, but I mean,
Wow.
at this point,
Yeah.
after this much time, it's like, okay, whatever, you know, let's just play.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we've started here in the UK to, you know, experiment with crowds now to see how things are going to be. There was a concert in Liverpool that took place this last weekend with 3,000 people under, you know, very monitored circumstances, with testing before, testing afterwards, but no social distancing and no masks, but very, very well organized to see if this is possible, if it's possible to begin to open the doors to venues again here in the UK.
Oh, that's fantastic news. That's the best thing I've heard
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. I've just been, I have to say how much I'm loving your new album. Isn't it fabulous to, it's not quite all out yet. I mean, one of the things I think that's so interesting at the moment about releasing music is the different ways of putting tracks out from albums, you know, in a sort of layered process, by which I mean, you know, you get a taster track and then maybe a second track and then a third track. You know, in the old days, it used to be the album came out and then they'd begin to release singles from it. But nowadays, it's kind of the other way around, isn't it? And that's been the approach with the tracks that you've released so far from your new record.
Yeah. You know, when the shift happened to where it's sort of the cart got put before the horse, so to speak. And I've seen people, you know, on social media that follow our band, that say, stop releasing singles, just put the record out. What are you waiting for? And there's rhyme and reason there somewhere, but it kind of feels exciting to me because we decided a couple of records ago to not play any of the songs until they're heard or until they're available, to be consumed in some way. And then it kind of is a little exciting. Like we know, when one is released on a Friday or something, we say, oh, we can play this one live now, and maybe people will recognize it.
See, I think it's liberating personally. I think that the idea that you can release music now in whatever configuration you like is a liberating thing. I mean, equally, don't misunderstand me. I'm still old school. I love the whole thing of putting the needle on an album and letting it play through, and it takes you through a journey. But with all the technology that exists at the moment, it does give everyone an opportunity to break things down into whatever bite-sized chunks they feel are appropriate. And I think it's a liberating thing for artists also just to release a track. It isn't necessarily going to ever be on an album, but it's something maybe they did in lockdown that they want to see out, and now they just release a track. So, there's always good and bad in everything, but I actually like this process of getting teaser tracks leading you into the album. And in particular, in your case, Delilah, I think, which is such an amazing track, isn't it? Just tell me about the influences behind Delilah.
Oh, thank you so much, Bob. Well, that song, when I wrote it, lyrically, it's a Bible story, the good old Samson and Delilah story. But I was thinking about New Orleans, and that groove is specifically a New Orleans thing, that feel, and it's been done so many times, but to me, I never tire of it. Little Feat were so good at it, a California band that really latched on to the New Orleans. You know them well. I don't know when it was just sort of a happy accident in that case. I didn't really have any plan, but when I started to sing those lyrics, that's where the music landed, was right there in that kind of pocket, and I couldn't get it out of it. And so our drummer Britt, when we started to rehearse it and he started to play, I said, no, you know what you have to do? You have to do that New Orleans shuffle thing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
He said, okay.
Well, because I'm from the Little Feat generation, as it were. When I was doing the Old Grey Whistle Test, Little Feat were one of our staple groups, and they came over to tour with the Doobie Brothers in, I think it must have been 1973. And at the time, the Doobie Brothers topped the bill when they first arrived, but Little Feat went down so brilliantly that within 2 or 3 dates into the tour, they switched round so that Little Feat topped the bill. They were huge in Britain. We loved them here. And Delilah definitely has that Little Feat groove about it, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. I mean, I love that band so dearly. And I heard stories about that tour, about, the Doobies at one particular gig. It was time for them to go on, and the audience wouldn't stop chanting feet, feet, feet.
Yes.
So it's like getting booed before you start.
I know. Yeah. But so just tell me about this film that you've made for us, because I'm really honored that you've created this sort of mini concert for our program tonight. Just tell us about the setup for this, Charlie.
Okay. Well, we were on the road, doing some shows down in Florida, and we decided there was a really cool looking venue we were playing. They're all outdoor shows that we're doing, and this particular show in Orlando, Florida, it looked really great. There were the city lights everywhere, and it was a beautiful starry night, and I don't know if it was a full moon, but I'm pretending that it was, because it was that romantic. But we had some friends come and bring their gear and film and record everything. It was really painless. I've actually, just to quote Mr. Raul, I've seen a piece of it. I'm not even sure if I've seen all of it, but what I did see looked fantastic. It was sort of like the stars aligned, no pun intended.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to show everyone the film now. It's been great to talk to you, Charlie. And of course, I think as well as this moment, you and I are going to be meeting on my country show soon also, aren't we, on Radio 2?
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Bob.
Yeah, well, me too. And thanks also to 30 Tigers for helping us set all this up. They've been brilliant. And it's great to talk to you. Give my best to all the other guys, please, Charlie. And right, I'm gonna press the button now and set the film rolling. So here is Delilah. Cheers, Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
but you gotta believe. Hey, 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 Delilah, she's alright with me. Alright. Saw the lightning flash across the bright blue sky. Saw the rain creep across the road. Well, he stopped and said, "That's the devil beating his wife." Some old tale the old folks told. It's a 5-mile walk between here and uptown, on a road lined with sugar cane. They won't notice if he goes anywhere. Here lately it's like they've forgotten his name. He just can't forget the way that the day seems so much brighter, and your breeze could blow the troubles away. You could see angels dancing in the flame. So place seems so much bigger. Now he sees it all a different way. Nothing's really changed, but it ain't the same. He's been back from overseas about 30 days. He returns standing proud and true. Yeah, the new is worn off of his welcome home, like the heat burning off the dew. Empty bottles that mean the bills ain't getting paid. Same holes knocked in the wall. Mama don't fight back like in her younger days. Going over the edge, well, it's a hell of a fall. Can he just go back a page? Yeah, the days seem so much brighter, and your breeze could blow your troubles away. You could see angels dancing in the flame. This old place seems so much bigger. Now he sees it all a different way. Nothing's really changed, but it ain't the same. He don't know where he's headed for, but the buses run right on time. Anywhere's better than staying here, with the ghosts running through his mind. Things that he's seen and done are so much for any mother's son to live down or try to run away from. Can he run? Yeah, the days seem so much brighter, and your breeze could blow your troubles away. You could see angels dancing in the flame. This old place seems so much bigger. Now he sees it all a different way. Nothing's really changed, it just ain't the same. you can't believe everything you read. A hammer and a block of stone, singing that title song. Baby, you can find a new harmony if you hear Georgia. Can't believe everything you read. A hammer and a block of stone, singing that title song. Maybe you can find a new harmony. Can't believe everything you read. A hammer and a block of stone, singing that title song. Maybe you can find a new harmony. You hear Georgia.
Just absolutely brilliant. And recorded specially for us. That was filmed especially for this Bobcast tonight. And it was 3 songs from the new album from Blackberry Smoke. The title song was the one we heard last, You Hear Georgia. And before that, it was Hey Delilah, the first song, and Ain't the Same, the great Blackberry Smoke. Thanks to them and to 30 Tigers for making that wonderful film for us. That almost wraps things up, but Miles is with me in the studio tonight, and we've had so many inquiries, so much in the way of correspondence into the show, that we wanted just to acknowledge 1 or 2 people and answer 1 or 2 of the questions. And you've got loads lined up there, Miles. So what have people been saying?
Yeah, a few from everywhere. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first edition of the Whispering Bobcast. We've been having a blast in the studio. It's been so much fun. So thank you for tuning in. Just a few comments from people. Thank you for sending stuff in as well as we've been going through the show. Our friend Eric Brace has been watching in Nashville, and he has a great memory of Raul Malo, who came into his record room, Red Beat Records, during his late night song swap sessions, and he started strumming Blue Bayou, and he got to sing harmonies with him on that. And I can't imagine how much of a wonderful experience that must have been.
Well, Raul has got the Roy Orbison voice. hasn't he? That's the thing, he's got this wonderful, rich voice, Raul. So, a Roy Orbison medley would be just ideal.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of voices as well, Tom Tierney, thanks for being in touch. He said, if voices were spirits and liquors, Bob would be Drambuie and Raul's would be Knob Creek, which I think is quite good. If you were to
We'll
choose,
take it.
if you were to choose a liquor that describes your voice best, Bob, how would you go?
Probably colour and cream.
Smooth. Yeah, lots of lovely messages from people. Tia and Tommy watching in Canada. Hello, thank you very much for watching. And somebody commenting about Charlie Starr and Blackberry Smoke. I mean, we've had loads of comments about that performance from Blackberry Smoke. Absolutely amazing. Nick C saying that Charlie Starr was the man who reignited his faith in great music, which I think is true for a lot of people by the sounds of things in the chat tonight.
Blackberry Smoke are regarded now as the great Southern band. I mean, they follow in the footsteps of people like the Allman Brothers Band, Marshall Tucker, these bands that were around the Capricorn label in the mid-70s. And, I really think the Blackberry Smoke have picked up the baton, definitely.
Totally. Sounded absolutely amazing. And how cool to see a real gig as well.
Yeah.
God, that made me jealous.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. So before we head off, I just thought I'd quickly inform you, along with Bob, about goings on with the Bobcast for the next little while. This first run of shows is going to be every Tuesday night for at least 6 weeks, which is very exciting, all here on Roots Live. Big shout out to Tom and Mark, who are manning the control station in Sheffield and doing a fabulous job. We really appreciate all their help. But yes, 8 p.m. in the UK every Tuesday night. Here next week, the guests we've got lined up are amazing. Rodney Crowell is going to be on the show, as are Ida May and the Hold Steady, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Lots of the organisation of the artists going in from 30 Tigers as well, and we are very grateful for their support. It's wonderful to have so many of their artists on the show. I mean, I guess probably one of the most influential record labels in our kind of musical area of the world, wouldn't you say, Bob?
I would, yes. 30 Tigers, just about everything that comes out on the label, I absolutely love.
Yeah.
It's just, they've got such a fabulous roster. But also, during the next few weeks, one or two of the other people that we're talking to, I think Roseanne Cash will be with us in a few weeks' time. Mark Cohen, it'll be Roseanne and John Leventhal. Mark Cohen, we're trying to organize, I don't know whether this is going to be possible, but Lucas Nelson is currently in Hawaii. And he really wants to do the show, and we're currently exploring how we can make this happen. To link live to Hawaii, is it possible for us to be able to do that? But we're hoping so. So we're hoping, as I say, that Lucas will be on the show as well. Rodney Crowell next week is an absolute treat. I'm really looking forward to seeing him, and Ida May and the Hold Steady, who I used to play on my overnight programs on Radio 1 some years ago. So we're setting up an incredible series for you, and we'll keep you posted at Whispering Bob across my social media over the next few weeks as to who we've got coming in. And don't forget also our competition for next week to build the dream concert, your 10 all-time favorite live tracks. So it could be something from Frampton Comes Alive, or something from the James Gang, or something much more recent. It's up to you. Choose 10 and send them in, and we'll be doing the draw next week. And part of that draw, part of the prize, will be for you to create a playlist that we can refer to and perhaps reproduce in some way on this show. So please do get those playlists coming in, and we'll be picking the winner at around this time next week. And there are various other ways, Miles, aren't there, to get involved in subscription? And
there are, yes. Obviously, it's free to watch and to listen to every week if you'd like to. But obviously, there are certain running costs and things involved in the production of such a thing. And if you feel like you would like to, beneath the live stream tonight, you can find a little crowdfunding option where you can help us to fund the store. In return, there's lots of merch goodies available for various levels of funding. Anything you can give is greatly appreciated. No worries if not, obviously. And it's just great to have you here and enjoying the shows. But if you did want to get involved and take your support up an extra notch, just check below the stream tonight, and there's links that can take you through to various funding options and merchandise and all that good stuff. And we're very excited. I mean, obviously, this is the first one, and as you can tell, it's got a bit of an old grey whistle test vibe in the studio, because I know back in your days on the Whistle Test, Bob, to start with, the show was open-ended, which meant that there was nothing on after you on the TV.
That's
so
right.
you could kind of run as long as you wanted. And so we've kind of taken that into the Bobcast tonight.
and taking it literally tonight.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's a nice loose concept, and we'll be announcing more people getting involved with the show and all that sort of thing. If you've joined us late or missed any of the show for any reason tonight, you can catch up right here on Roots Live for the next week until the next broadcast. So even if you just want to watch again, or if you want to catch up on anything or show your friends, then this link will be live, and you can share it around and watch it for a week until next week's show, which we're all very excited for.
Yeah, it's just I'm thrilled. Hold Steady, Ida May, and Rodney Crowell. Wow, what a lineup! And that's this time next week. Thank you so much for watching tonight. It's been a joy, and the reaction has been unbelievable. We're absolutely blown away by your reaction, and we'll all be back. Thanks also to Alex Bramer this evening. Thanks to Lauren. Thanks to Raul. Thanks to Blackberry Smoke. And in particular, thanks to you for watching. And we'll see you again next week.